Jared Polin, FroKnowsPhoto.com, and welcome to a very special mobile edition of Frono's Photo RAWtalk. This is episode 69. What, Steven? This is episode number 69 from Las Vegas. We'll get into that, no pun intended, for what we're doing here in Las Vegas. Before we get going, really, I got my intro right this week.
Yes,
Didn't forget that. We just spent the last almost hour setting this up. We have the room. This is kind of like a test for mobily taking RAWtalk with us. I would love to have our own panel lights, so we're looking for some of those right now, whether it's Kino flows or the limelight stuff or just things that we can have. So we would have a light on me, we would have a light on Steven, we'd have a light off in the middle. Right now we actually have 2 lamps on me. We've got a lamp on Steven. We've got window light going around. The GoPro angle's up there. So hopefully it's recording well and not being thrown off by these other things. It may be.
It might be a little definitely hot in some areas.
Or overexposed.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
We'll see what happens. This is a test. So when we figure out how well it is, and we're going to learn from this because that's what we do. But we have the D4, this time with a 70-200 2.8 on me, about 90 millimeters. We've got Steven's angle with his 5D Mark III with a 24-70 this week. And we've got the D800 with the Atomos. What's funny, guys, is somebody tweeted and said, I couldn't figure out what you were saying. I thought I was Googling Atomos, A-D-A-M-O-S. And what he really meant to do was Atomos. But he's like, I didn't understand your Philly speak.
The Philly accent gets him every time.
Atomos. So Steven's going to do his photo news off the computer.
Yep.
We've got the table set up. We've got pretty much everything but Wheel of Fro here.
Pretty much. I mean, look at this setup. I mean, we have so much mixed lighting going on as far as natural light goes, fluorescent light, all kinds of stuff. But I think we did a pretty solid job setting this up, pretty last minute. And
yeah, we're both using the Rode headsets.
Yep.
And as a little side note, we have a bunch of different adapters for Rode, and one of them didn't seem to be functioning. It's just it's one of the adapters that we can replace. That I have a couple extra at home.
The XLR adapter for
the XLR adapter. Steven's worked fine. Mine, for some reason, didn't matter whether it was Steven's or mine, but one of them just wasn't working right. So there may be an issue with it. That's why it's good to have a way to do a backup, and that's why I'm doing it wireless. We have the other Rode adapter that's working, and that's part of being mobile is having backup. Luckily, having backup. So speaking of Rode, I might as well get their Pluggy McPluggerson out of the way now.
By the way, I feel so far away from you.
So far away, doesn't anybody stay in one place anymore? 'Cause it would be so nice to see your face at my door. It doesn't hurt to know you're so something. Our friends at Rode Mics have let me know that they're gearing up for a huge short film competition that is kicking off at the end of February. Along with some of their industry friends such as Adobe, Zeiss Lenses, Blackmagic Cameras, GoPro, Red Rock Micro, and many more. They've put together some killer prize packs that total over $50,000 in filmmaking gear. Anytime you hear $50,000, what?
It's a lot of money.
Anytime you hear $50,000 in prize gear, you might as well pay attention.
Oh, yeah.
Because if you have a chance to win something, it doesn't hurt. All you have to do is try. And then the last thing is there will be a major announcement next month, but be sure to like their Facebook page, follow them on Twitter, and make sure you don't miss out on an opportunity to be in the chance to win. So I'm reading it directly from them because I wanted to get it right. But definitely go ahead and like their page. If anybody gives you a chance to win a competition that doesn't cost you anything other than your time and to be creative and a chance to win, then by all means go and do it.
Yeah.
We are at the Paris Hotel. I have to give a shout out to the Twitter follower who got us hooked up with a bigger room.
Beautiful room.
Beautiful room, which you're going to see in a
behind-the-scenes cribs tour.
A crib-style tour that ends with me being, I'm not going to tell you. I'm not going to tell you. You just have to wait and see.
Grand finale.
Right? It was fun. It was fun because this is a huge room. It's almost like 2 rooms. It has his and hers bathrooms and a big king-size bed and then a rollaway for Steven.
Yeah, and a half-ass bed for me.
Hey, you weren't going to sleep with me.
Which people can't see it in the room, but it's actually hanging up pretty much in the foyer.
So before we jump into your news, why are we in Vegas? More importantly, why am I in Vegas? I spoke today at ClickBank Exchange. ClickBank is clickbank.com. It's basically the platform that I use to collect the payments globally for the Fronos Photo Beginner Guide, the things that I sell online. So it's a digital distribution thing. It also takes care of the physical, but really, basically, they get paid a percentage. They take a percentage because they do the credit cards. It's kind of like PayPal, but done in a different way. And the reason
Much more organized, I guess.
It's more organized, and it has a marketplace, so you can go and if you want to be in the internet marketing field, you can go ahead and find people's products and try to sell them and make money off of it. That's internet marketing. That's how it works. But it's a place where they asked me to come and speak to a couple hundred, 250 people at their ClickBank exchange to be a part of a panel. You were there. What'd you think of the panel?
I thought it was good. There was 3 of you guys, right? It was you. I forget the names though. The other 2. Max, and what's his name? Warren Whitfield, or
I think Warren Whitfield sounds
something
about
along
right.
those lines. But yeah, I thought it was great. I mean, I personally learned a lot because that side of the business is not something that I'm very fond on. I mean,
fond of? You mean familiar with?
Familiar with, yeah. That's something that basically I've learned a lot from just working with you the past few months. So just to shed some light on that again, even further, is just something that I really enjoy just listening to and paying attention to.
And that's we talk about. But I sat with 2 Fro readers yesterday at the bar that came out. They tweeted me. I sent them my phone number so they could text me. They asked if they could come hang out. So we all hung out together, and they were asking questions, stuff that I don't talk about, on the photo site, because I have a big note here: photography first before anything else. It's like a mantra that I wrote down because we don't want to get off topic. This is a photography podcast, and
at its core, yeah,
at its core, and I don't want to ever lose that. So I want to make people aware that we don't want to lose. We're not gonna lose that, but I'm also not gonna lose ranting and going off on tangents because
and
singing because that's part of it. That's part of keeping
it's the entertainment.
Fun.
Yeah,
right.
It keeps it fresh.
But seeing the business side, and you did tell me that I didn't interrupt them at all.
You didn't actually. You were really, really good with that, and you were very professional with it too. There was no rants, there was no tangents, anything like that. You were straight to the point. I mean, there was a couple people that asked questions.
Straight to the point, no faking.
Yeah.
Light up the MCs like a pound of bacon.
I wish you would have kind of went on random singing tangents, though. That would have been funny.
It didn't fit.
But people loved you, man. The crowd was going wild over you. And you had a bunch of people after the fact, after you spoke, who came up to you at the end.
Yeah.
Which, I don't know, 5, 6, 7 different people?
Yeah, I had to
talk to you for a while.
Yeah, we had to get back up here to do RAWtalk. We'll meet more of them at the cocktail hour. But I love the business aspect. And I sat there and told the guys that we met with the Fro Readers, because you weren't here yet, you were flying in. I don't have a problem discussing the business. I love business and marketing. And I love photography.
It's half and half, I think, with you.
Right? Well, I love photography all along, but I grew up in a salesperson family. My dad's a salesperson. My mom was a salesperson. My grandparents, my grandfather.
Used to sell photography gear, too.
I used to sell photography gear, yeah. But I learned so much from my dad and my grandfather. My brother's a salesperson. I mean, we love it. So I love branding and marketing, creating. Anything that allows me to create, I just get that. I get off on that. I get off on you. Get it up. Anyway, so that's I was speaking at this event, ClickBank, and I didn't go to CES this year. Went the last 2 years. Glad I didn't go this year. I have no desire to go. But in Vegas, they have the AVN Awards, which is the Adult Video Network Awards for anybody out there that needs earmuffs. It's basically no. I'm not going to go into. It's the AVN Awards. We're not going and staying for the award ceremony, which is like best oral sex scene, best DP scene. I don't care about that. But they have what's called the Sex Toy Expo.
Yeah.
And I think that would be fun to just go to. And I will say, for those people that would go, what would your mother say? My mother would have asked to join me at the sex toy show.
Oh, yeah?
She would have loved it. She used to watch on Showtime. There was this mantra, photography first. There was this show with Seymour Butts. The guy's named Seymour Butts. Yeah. And he did a reality show on Showtime about that. My mom used to watch it all the time. She was fascinated by the industry.
And the reason I laughed in the beginning was because, ironically, this is episode number 69,
right?
And we're going to a sex toy expo on top of that,
right? So that's what I'm doing here, and yeah, we're gonna go to the show tomorrow.
Yep,
we're gonna have some fun,
film it. I think, right?
It's going to be some filming. I don't know if I'll ever show anybody that. We don't know how
might just be for us.
Well, this is photography first, so that would be something totally separate if I decided to do that.
Yeah.
But that could be fun anyway. I know it's just I like having fun. I like creating. So on to the show, Steven. We hit that. There will be no Wheel of Fro this week,
unfortunately, but
we will do a double Wheel of Fro.
Yeah.
Like DP. Double Wheel of Fro. DWF. Oh, geez, that's down with DWF. Well, DWF. We'll double Wheel Fro in a week or the next time we do a show.
Next RAWtalk.
Photo news. Steven?
And before we get started on photo news, I wanted to bring up the point that as far as exposure goes, we're recording more in the late afternoon, so this might drop slightly in exposure as far as the DSLRs go. And on top of that, the audio, we're using the headsets this time, so there might be some overmodulation on occasion or something along those lines.
I think they'll be good.
I think they'll be fine too, but I just want to preface this show with that.
We're
different.
Not sitting in
it's
front
a
of
mobile setup. We're not using the broadcasters.
So we're going to learn a lot from this mobile setup, which is great. How much time? So I know?
We're 11 minutes in.
So I need to...
So in
whenever I feel
6-7 minutes, yeah. I mean, I'll let you know.
Right.
First off, for photo news, we have Canon. They updated their firmware for the 1DX to 2.0.3. Now, some key update features include the initial AF point selection and 61-point auto selection autofocus synchronization, which I really don't understand what that means.
Say that again.
It's the initial AF point selection and 61-point auto selection AF synchronization.
The initial I don't know. I
really
enjoyed using it. All I can say is I loved
technical.
using that camera.
Yeah, it was a great camera. AF point switching according to camera orientation, so that's really nice. It's something I wish my 5D had. So when you're shooting horizontal and you switch to vertical, that's pretty much going to switch automatically with you, the orientation of it. So that's very convenient. Improved low light performance, they're saying. Expanded minimum shutter speed and auto ISO, which I'm pretty sure no one using that camera is going to be using auto ISO. I mean, it's a $6,000 professional camera and body. Moving on, we have, after just announcing their new CFast 2.0 card that writes at 3,333 times last week, Lexar has announced a new CF card, compact flash, not CFast 2.0, that is the industry's first memory card to be offered in 512 gigabyte capacity.
Price?
Insane. Price is, where's it at? We have $1,800.
Right, roughly 1,100 pounds.
1,100 pounds, and they also have a 256 gigabyte model as well, which comes in at about $785.
It's very
US dollars.
I'm curious for people out there that know more about SSDs, like why people use the larger solid state drive versus using. I mean, could you just embed a compact flash card inside an iMac or something?
I have no clue.
And get. Maybe they could when they get less expensive.
Yeah. They're saying that it's minimum guarantee write speed of 20 megabytes per second. It'll be available the first quarter of 2014. And they also announced a 256 gigabyte 1066 times write card as well. I didn't see the price on that, but that's up on the website as well. So check that out. 256, if you're doing photography stills only, not needed. Way too much. 32 is way too much.
32 is all too much for most cameras.
Exactly.
Except the D800.
If you're doing video, totally okay.
We have 32. We shoot with 32 gig cards.
For RAWtalk. And it almost fills it up.
We do?
At 1080p, yeah.
Oh, so I may need to invest in bigger cards.
Just a little bit. Maybe 64, especially if we're approaching 2 hours. 64 would be probably the best.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Oh, I remember last week we put an interview in the can. And how am I doing with time?
We're 14 minutes in.
We have no Steven Sutter here this week.
We don't.
His hipsterness isn't here to with his presence to
press
push a
start
button. We did an interview that was a half an hour, and then we did RAWtalk, and before we started, it still said 2 hours and 12 minutes.
Yep.
So it may be 2 hours and 40 minutes.
You're right. We did do the interview on top of that. So I would say probably 3/4 of the way, 32 gig cards. How's it looking for audio?
I think it's working.
I think it's working good. I've been checking to see if it's peaking on you, and it's been pretty good. So I think we're doing well for this episode.
First off, you're not first off, but it's pretty amazing that all of this stuff fit into the think tank bag.
Crazy.
Except for your gear, obviously. But
we're gonna do
we're gonna do a what's in my bag for what we brought for basically traveling.
Yeah, I mean, I can't believe how much stuff you packed in that bag. And with mine, really all I need, I mean, I brought more stuff than needed.
Always.
Because I wanted to take some pictures probably of the landscapes and stuff like that around here. But all I need is 24 to 70 in my body. That's really it for that and the tripod. Moving on though.
With my body?
Now that you peaked. I saw you peaked on that.
What you want with my body?
You're good on that one. A new Kickstarter campaign for a mobile lens that attaches to your smartphone called Moment started up this week and already reached its goal within just a few days of launching. The campaign has already reached $94,000 at the time of this recording, with the goal of about half that, $50,000, and they still have about 3 weeks to go. They're saying it's the highest quality lens offered for smartphones, and I know you wanted to comment on this.
Yeah, just wait till I comment.
You can, because you have the
Well, I'm
headset.
Wireless right now.
You're wireless.
But I just wanted to make sure we reset that.
Okay,
because I'm doing Steven Sutter.
too, so we should be good.
Yeah. So I don't know if this was the same thing that Matt from ClickBank was talking about last night. It may have been. First off, it's fascinating, and I got to stop saying first off. fascinating that somebody can launch a Kickstarter and within a day reach their goal of $50,000.
Nearly double it.
And then get to
crazy.
almost 100,000, only selling 100 units.
Yeah.
Right? So that's amazing. But there are a lot of these lenses already out there. But again, this proves to you that there's plenty of room in a market for whatever you come up with. So anybody out there thinking, oh, this already exists or something already exists, I can't fit in that market. You absolutely can. You just need to come out with something that makes people want to buy it. But what I don't understand, you can tell me it's the highest quality lenses that you can create. That's great. But you still have to start with the actual lens that's in the phone.
The original lens.
This is okay, so this lens will only take you so far. So if you put another lens on top of this lens, it doesn't make this lens any better or any worse than
if
what
anything,
it is.
the quality's going to degrade, in my opinion.
Because you're putting another piece of ass in front of
yeah,
it.
it's like putting a shitty filter on a $2,000 lens.
That's part of the problem.
It is.
So until what are they called? Apple or Android, until somebody lets you put on a lens actual better
swap
lens,
out your
swap
lens.
out lenses that's in front of the sensor. I don't understand how they can say better quality, but obviously people believe in them, enough people to get them double funded.
Well, and majority of their users are going to be smartphone users that aren't owning DSLRs.
Right, don't care as much about the
and
quality.
they don't really understand that kind of stuff. So moving on, we have some incredible photos. This is awesome, of a volcanic eruption in Chile with a lightning storm in the middle of it surfaced online. Really amazing stuff. It features clouds of ash, lava, lightning, mountains, like all in one photograph. It's once in a lifetime kind of stuff. This is something you guys definitely need to check out. It's one of my favorite things this week, personally. I mean, you saw some of these.
I did. Well,
crazy.
they were shot extremely well.
They were shot very well, and the fact that he caught the lightning on top of that, and the lightning storm looks like it was added in post. I mean, that's how amazing these look. It almost looks fake. But yeah, I really enjoyed looking at them. Next up, Sony is rumored to be working on a full-frame camera that only shoots black and white.
Whoop-de-doo.
It's going to
shoot black. I can't just I can't just shoot raw and then get rid of the color later. I need a camera that shoots just black and white because I just want to charge the people a lot of money.
and say it's more artistic. So it's going to basically be a direct competitor to Leica's M monochrome camera. It's under development now, according to rumor site Sony Alpha Rumors, and will be launched later within this year. And Sony Alpha Rumors is kind of like Nikon Rumors and Canon Rumors. They're almost spot on almost every time. So this is pretty much legit for the most part. And black and white, I mean, yeah, it's good because don't they remove the color filter and it gets a little more dynamic range and a sharper.
Yeah, that's, I believe, what they said about the Leica.
Yeah,
that's
except
really
you're not spending
expensive.
10 grand on the Leica.
Look, Sony has done a fantastic job. They bought Minolta, Konica Minolta.
Oh, yeah?
Well, they did. Well, that's why they wanted into the industry. They wanted into the field of photography. They got in there when they bought Minolta. They got a great jump start. Sony's making fantastic stuff.
They
The
are.
sensors are in my D4 right now.
Yeah.
That's a Sony sensor. I think the D800 is a Sony sensor as well.
I do really want to get my hands on like an A7R or something just to have around. I mean, it's a small, full frame.
Allen
wireless,
actually has them in
mirrorless
stock.
camera. Do they?
Yeah.
Nice.
I can get one. Borrow lenses will send it to us.
Yeah, let's do it.
I'll do that.
I would like to review that thing or just shoot around with it.
Then
for
we
a
can
little
go
bit.
do a shoot with it.
We could. 5-minute portrait.
We need to do it.
Moving on. .org. Hasselblad has revealed a limited edition lunar camera for about 10 grand. Another super expensive camera like Leica. Limited to only 200, so I mean, I guess that's why it's got that price tag. It's going to be released at the end of this month to coincide with the Chinese New Year, which is also known as the Lunar New Year. And here's what the press release says. The Hasselblad Lunar Limited Edition, bristling with latest capture technology and crafted in lightweight titanium, boasts a sumptuous, unique red Tuscan leather grip,
Next.
a black leather shoulder strap accented with red
Next.
stitching, and some other crap.
Sorry, 'cause that's a joke.
It makes me want to like eat it. That's the way they use those adjectives in that.
Eat it. Eat it.
Beat it?
Shove it in your mouth and feed it. Weird Al.
I love his parodies. Sigma announced their new 51.4 DG HSM lens. The new lens has 13 elements in 8 groups compared to the predecessor, which had 8 elements in 6 groups. The price is yet to be released, as well as the release date. So we'll see about that, if it's good or not. Who knows?
They've been on a tear last couple years. Sigma's been on a tear. We talk about it week in and week out.
Oh, yeah. We're actually flying through this photo news. We only got 2 more stories left. It was kind of a light week, too, following up on CES. So
it was a light week at CES anyway, so now it's an even more light week with photo news.
Well, especially because it's the beginning of the year. I feel like they kind of, nothing really pops until February or so.
That, and I haven't really interrupted you very much.
That too. I think because you can't really sing this time around.
Well, I got to watch out for the levels. But you were so right last week. I listened back to my Kodachrome singing,
right?
And it sounds fine because I moved away. But if you were in the room to hear me yell,
loudest thing ever. Like I said, you're on one of the top floors of your building, and you probably could have heard it from either outside or at the first floor or something like that. You were so like me and Sutter were just like looking at each other like, this is so loud.
You didn't laugh at him by looking at his mustache?
I'm kind of jealous of that stash, dude. I can't even grow like freaking some chin hair. It's terrible. Let's see. We have some really cool photographs from a team aboard a trapped Antarctic icebreaker popped up online this week. Dr. Andrew Peacock, the photographer behind this, documented the entire journey and incident. The ship got stuck apparently in Antarctic waters on Christmas Eve after strong winds had pushed pack ice so tight around the ship that she wouldn't even budge. That's pretty crazy. You're pretty much frozen in ice in the middle of the sea. The team of 74 people had to be rescued via helicopter. There's some really just brilliant photos in this, very vibrant. You saw some of these, I think. The dynamic range is surprising, too, because he's shooting basically against all snow.
Yeah.
And everything looks very well exposed and just really nice. I kind of wonder what camera he used for this as well, just because of the quality of these images. And then last up, we have photographer Chino Atsuka used her camera to photograph self-portraits, which she then used to transport herself back in time in a new photo series called Imagine Finding Me.
Imagine Dragons,
where she placed herself in older images of herself with a very realistic outcome.
Which is cool.
She says that, in quote, the digital process becomes a tool, almost like a time machine, as I'm embarking on the journey so where I once belonged and at the same time becoming a tourist in my own history, end quote. And the way she did this in Photoshop, I mean, it had to take her forever. She really made herself look like the image was taken. You know, you can clearly tell sometimes it's been Photoshopped and they were just placed in there. But between the lighting, the shadowing, everything, it just looks so realistic. It's cool because it was taken like 3 decades prior to today. Yeah. But that's it for photo news.
The one other thing was there's been a lot of people saying that the rumor sites, Nikon Rumors, is saying coming out of Japan, the D4S will have the CF and XQD. I cannot get verification of that from Nikon, and if I can't get verification, I won't believe it until it happens.
You're so happy about that, I bet.
Yeah, I'm not very happy about that. It's just whatever. But I don't know how they can verify that by looking at the outside of the camera. If you look at the inside of the camera, maybe you can tell.
So that they're basing it just on looking on the outside?
They're basing it off of the same door.
Yeah, but
the door doesn't control anything.
What about from the D3 to say the D? Like, when did it change? Or D3S to the D4?
Well, the D4 was the first to take 2 cards.
Change?
The design of the camera changed slightly.
Okay.
But you figure from a D4 to a D4S, it's going to be the same design.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean that they didn't rework the inners.
D5. Yeah.
So we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah.
All right, Steven.
Yes.
We travel. You traveled. I traveled.
Mm-hmm.
Meeting interesting people at the airport.
I didn't really. You did.
Well, I did. So I let you know about this.
And you always do, somehow.
This wasn't my fault this time.
Yeah.
And people, because I said something interesting before I took off about the girl I was sitting next to on the plane. The plane. She sat somewhere else because I was just sitting there waiting. 6:30 flight, 6:30 a.m. out of Philly. And
so early.
The girl sat next to me. And then she's like, my power plug doesn't work. Can I borrow your power plug? So we switched seats.
Ooh, she borrowed your power plug.
She borrowed my power plug. And then she's like, Archer's not working. Would you mind having a conversation for a half an hour with a random person?
She said that?
Yes.
That's a good way to break the ice, I guess.
So she's just out there. She's like, I'm 22. She's 22.
What else did she say?
I haven't been laid in 6 months.
Very straightforward.
I like doing things. I'm smart.
Sounds like she's pitching herself to you.
I went to, she's probably listening. She'll probably not. She was really cool by the end of the flight.
But she sounded crazy at first.
She's just way out there. She was just projecting all of her. She's like, I have daddy issues.
To a complete stranger.
I slept with my professor.
Oh.
I like older men. By the way, I like 40-year-olds. And then real quick, she's like, and 30-year-olds. She's like, so how old are you? I'm like, you think that works? I'm like, All right, I'll have a conversation with you. And it's not. I was not doing the talking.
Yeah.
But you meet interesting people. I do. I meet interesting people anywhere because I'm not afraid to have a conversation.
Not at
and it's
all.
always cool to have a good conversation with somebody. This was just a very interesting conversation with a 22-year-old girl with blonde hair, with purple of that purple, bottom of her hair with some green mixed in there. She had a piercing here in between the lip and the...
Oh, the Marilyn Monroe one?
What? Yes.
The dimple thing?
That's horrible.
Not dimple,
And
whatever
she
it's
had,
called.
on the opposite, she had a loop in her nose.
That's pretty hot. I
She's-
kind of dig that.
All right. I'll hook you up with her.
Nicole, my ex, actually had the, what's it called? The bull one?
Yeah,
She didn't wear it much, but right in the middle.
I was with a girl who had that as well.
Yeah. It's so easy to hide. You just
Yeah, you
flip
just
it up,
flip
or,
it
you,
up.
or you take it out.
So there was that. Then she sat next to me on the plane. She's like, "Do you mind?" She's like, "Do you mind if I sit next to you?"
And talk to you for 5-6 hours.
No, the next part was, "Can I use your lap? Can I use your lap to go to sleep in?"
As a pillow.
Yeah, basically. I was like, "No, I don't."
But she did, didn't she?
No, she never used my lap as a pillow.
Oh, I thought she
She
did.
tried to use my shoulder as a pillow.
That's it. Yeah, your shoulder.
Which I let her use my shoulder as a pillow. But anyway, end of the flight, she was cool. She's nice. She's a girl. Some of them have issues at 22. But other than that, it was fine. I'll leave it at that.
Interesting story. To
Yeah.
start off your Vegas trip.
But it was very interesting to start off. Sorry.
Mine was very boring.
Photography first before anything else.
I took the plane ride and, watched King Kong for 3 hours on the flight, watched a couple episodes of The Office, and that's it.
But
Then I got here.
I was thinking like I should maybe just take random flights places and interview people, see what happens.
You can be like Yes Man, where you just kind of randomly go and make up, say where
could.
you want to go, and then interview people, MOS style.
I do have a ranty McRanterson.
Oh, yeah?
But I will save that for after the flying solo. How are we on time?
We're good. We're about 12 minutes in on this camera.
On that one.
Yeah.
And you can't get up, so I have to get up.
I mean, I can get up. Just have to.
So,
Actually, yeah, you should get up.
are we ready for flying solo?
Yeah.
Are you ready for? I know this is so different being here and doing it this way because
It's weird.
We're I like this lounging thing.
Dude, it's so much more comfortable than your seats at your place.
The only difference is we usually record by noon, and it's 5 o'clock.
Yeah, it's later. We're
Actually,
much
it's
farther.
4:21.
Like, we're usually like 3 feet apart. We're like 7 feet apart.
Yeah, and it's technically.
And I'm usually used to like trying to stay up on the microphone. I can do whatever I want now.
You can do whatever. It's like 7 o'clock at home. Flying solo, and I have a lot of those top 5 things this week.
Nice.
Jason Leo Hammond. Did you take a picture of your Jewish doctor date?
Yeah, I haven't seen her.
I haven't shown you a picture?
No, you haven't
I have
showed
one
me
on
yet.
my phone.
Well, you got to show me after.
So that was part of the thing with the 22-year-old next to me. I showed her. I'm like, you want to see a picture of a girl I went out with? That either makes her really want me more or respects the boundaries of me thinking, okay, so first off, we had the date. It was good.
Yeah.
What did we do? What did I tell you I was doing?
I don't remember.
We went out. Oh, we went to a bar.
I don't think you told me what happened.
We went to a bar.
Yeah.
We talked for like 3 hours.
Nice.
With no awkward silences.
That's the best. That's
Right.
how it works.
She joked the way I like joking.
She has your sarcasm.
She has my sarcasm. Some of it's over the top. Some of it's sexual in nature. That's perfectly fine. We drank the same drink. She doesn't like beer.
Like you.
I don't like beer.
She wouldn't work for me then.
She doesn't like beer.
I love beer.
I was like, I don't like beer. And so she was really cool. We did that, and then when we were leaving, I walked her home, which was like 2 or 3 blocks away.
That's convenient.
Yeah, that was good. I walked her home before I got a cab. I went upstairs, and then I got a cab, and then went back to my place. And then we went out again. So we've gone out twice. We went bowling. I had a cool conversation before bowling. I brought my own ball, even though Adam said, don't bring your own ball. Actually, both Adams said, don't bring your own.
Why? Because you didn't want to show her off?
No,
Show her
Adam's
up?
like, so Adam Rosenberg's like, don't be a dork. Don't show her who the dork you are already. I'm
Do you have
like,
your own bowling shoes too?
yeah, I have my own shoes. And then Adam Lerner was like, don't do that. Use a ball that's there. You don't want to show her up. I'm like, dude, when I go bowling, I want to bowl. I love bowling. So I brought my own ball. I threw a 203 in the second game. We only threw
Nice.
2 games, so that was good. She was trying to throw my game off she's like, you're left-handed? Ooh, more issues with lefties when they come into the OR. You just got to watch it. So she's like, I'm highly competitive. So that was cool. We did some other stuff. whatever. We hopefully go out again.
Cool.
So that was good. Good
2
start
dates.
to that.
That's a good start. Yeah.
Yeah. How much do I need to redo the next thing?
You can do it now. We're 15 minutes in if you want. You can keep talking though. 'Cause
Okay.
you're
I'll just get up and talk?
Yeah.
Because I'm wireless?
You're wireless. You can move around the room. Hopefully,
yeah, except
there's
I'm holding it. There's no static.
No static, and it's probably going to be a little noisier this week since we're not using the broadcasters.
Yeah.
It's a little cleaner with them.
Off.
Specifically,
On.
mainly because we're using your Sony wireless.
Yes.
For
Sometimes you can get interference from the Sony wireless.
Every now and then.
Do you want to reset the clock?
Yeah, I'll reset it.
I almost forgot this wasn't going. You look a little on the... Yeah, you look pretty good.
Cool.
All right.
Like I said, it's going to drop exposure eventually, so...
Well,
people
because
have
you
to-
had a big reflection coming off a nice reflection coming off the wall outside.
Yeah,
from the
earlier,
sun.
because we have this, we're on a tan building, and the tan building's reflecting right on my side. However, Jared, you had a giant blue building, blue tinted building that was just reflecting very cold,
It's the Hilton Grand Vacation.
shadow your way.
Here we go. Sahil Nanda. While traveling, when do you let go of the camera and just enjoy the trip? Because too much of photography can sometimes ruin the trip. How do you make this decision? Honestly, most of the time I don't end up shooting a lot of photos because I'm on vacation.
Or you're making content
Or I'm making
overshooting.
content that is related to that. So
photography.
that's what I do. Or I'm out shooting. Yeah, I mean, I don't take the camera everywhere. We're going down the strip. I'm not taking my camera.
Yeah.
I guess kind of the iPhone works for that.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Like, that's what I use it for.
So that's that. Moy Bulgarian. Squirrel? Question mark. Or squirrel. Oh, actually, you're supposed to read these.
Am I?
Well, there's only
this
two
is
of
the-
them there.
Where's
two
it
of
at?
them there.
Okay. So, like you said, squirrel or squirrel.
I like the second one.
Zoe Deschanel or Selena Gomez. That's kind of tough.
So I used to love Zoe Deschanel. I loved her eyes, and I love her bangs.
Her eyes are beautiful.
They're banging. I loved her eyes and I loved her bangs. And then I just think she got annoying. She married Ben Gibbard.
But I love Ben Gibbard and Death Cab and Postal Service.
But then he went back to being an alcoholic because of her.
Well, because they divorced.
Right.
And then he released a, in my opinion, not so good solo record
Right.
of lost songs.
Very lost. I'm going to go with... Damn it. Who am I going to go with?
See, I personally think Zoe Deschanel's voice is super hot. She's kind of got that, like,
She sings,
awkward, squeaky...
but so annoying. I used to like She and Him, but I think she's just so affected by this this celebrity lifestyle.
Well, New Girl
All
blew
right,
up.
I'm going with Selena Gomez from that new movie where she looks really hot.
Spring Breakers?
Yes.
Yeah.
Xavier Ontiveros. Have you ever worn one of your I Shoot Raw shirts during a first date? If so, has this concerned the ladies? Lady or ladies. I always wear my own
I was
shirts.
gonna say, when do you not wear them?
So going out to the second date, I made a conscious decision to try to wear something else. I went up into my closet to look for another shirt.
You don't have
and I
anything
don't have
else.
anything up there. I must still be at my dad's. I had an old shirt 2 years ago that I got from Gizzy for my birthday. The T-shirt, it has Bob Ross on it. I wore that, and I made sure to let her know that I consciously didn't wear the shirt. She goes, I was thinking to myself, is he gonna wear basically the same shirt again?
Well, I think a lot of women or just people in general take it, if they don't understand your brand or what you do or
Right.
photography, they take it as more of a sexual saying versus
Which we're gonna
photography.
We're gonna see how that works over at the AVN show.
Yeah, that'll be interesting.
All right, Daniel Superman. How should you travel with your external hard drives from place to place? Is a hard shell casing the best option? If there is a hard shell casing option, then absolutely yes. I have a G-Tech drive that I brought with us so we can back up the stuff tonight, and that comes in its own case. It's not the best case. If you can have a hard case that's a hard shell that fits it exactly with foam, use that. Or what are they called?
I have the Lacy Rugged personally.
Right, which is...
It's basically a shell. It's saying it's 6 foot. You can drop it and be fine. But yeah,
a Pelican
it's
case.
the orange one.
You can get Pelican cases. That would be awesome because it's pressurized.
Pick and pull foam or pull and pick, whatever it's called.
Pluck and peel foam.
Pluck and peel.
Actually, it's pluck
Same
and pull.
difference.
Pluck and pull because pluck and peel is what I do with shrimp.
Yes, touche.
Oh, whoa. That was a lot of ink that came out on my paper.
Uh-oh.
Alex Medved.
Always good questions.
You had mentioned shooting for Rolling Stone and other places at a very young age. How did that come about? Well, I started shooting for Rolling Stone in a very interesting way. I would call these I went to Barnes and Nobles. and I would go through the magazines and get the phone numbers. This was before you really did that stuff on the internets. And you checking my levels still?
Yeah, you're good.
All right. Before I know it's so different being out of there. But anyway, I would go there and get the phone numbers. I would call, ask for the head of the photo department, and I called Rolling Stone one day, and I just kept calling and calling, and the girl goes,
"Is this Jared again?"
No. She goes, "If I need anything from you, I'll call."
Like in a very snarky attitude.
I'm like, "You don't have my phone number." So I let that go. 6 months later, I call again, and another lady answered the phone, and I was like, "Hey." And she had a conversation with me, and I was younger. I was in like what, 19, 20.
That is young. I mean, to be shooting for Rolling Stone.
Right. And so I told her, I'm like, "Oh, I called like 6 months ago, and this other girl was not very nice to me." She's like, "Just send me your work. Just keep sending me stuff, and I'll look at it, and maybe one day I'll need it."
Nice.
So one day I got a phone call or an email to my AOL address, because that's what
The
you
good
used
old days.
back then. And it was, "Hey, can you go shoot Norah Jones?" I'm like, "I'm your man."
That was when she was huge.
That
too,
was right when she was
Kicked off.
huge. And I talked my way backstage with her and I talked to her tour manager to sit with her in her dressing room while she sang after the show.
Well, and there are also the days where you can say, "Hey, I'm here doing an assignment for Rolling Stone." They're like, "Oh, come backstage."
And that
Nowadays,
helped.
it's like, it's a joke.
But you know what he said to me? He goes, "Ask Norah first if you can shoot." So he didn't ask her for me. So he brought Norah over, and she's like, I don't like getting photos taken."
I'm surprised he said, "Ask her."
Yeah, so she came over. I told her what I was doing. She's like, "I don't like getting photos taken." And I said, "I won't take many. I'll take a couple. And then you won't even know I'm there." She's like, "All right." So we went back. She started singing with Jillian Welch, who was opening for her. And I took like 8 or 9 pictures. This is film.
I was going to say it's film, right?
So I didn't know what I got out of it. But I took 8 or 9. I said, "Norah, thank you." And I walked out. And she's like, "You're done?" I said I'd be quick. So I held to my word. That's what it was all about.
I was saying it's interesting that they said ask her, because usually the artist is the one never to be spoken to.
Right.
It's always the manager or whoever that makes that final decision. There was one time I was with Linkin Park. We were doing this backstage interview, and I had to ask. They said no videotapes for some reason. It was just an audio interview or something like that. And I had brought the video camera because apparently the camcorder at the time, this is years back when DSLRs really didn't have that quality, or I don't even think they shot video at the time. And basically, we're setting up the interview. I had the camcorder and all that stuff. We had pre-approved for video, and then the manager's flipping out like, "We didn't say video, blah, blah, blah." I specifically asked Linkin Park themselves, the members, and they were like, "Oh, yeah, it's totally fine." Started filming. The manager flipped out, and I was like, "Hey, I asked the band members." He looks at the band members. They were like, "Yep," shook their head. And,
See, one of the guys,
my Wendy, who I work with, was like, "I can't believe you had the balls to ask the band themselves."
because the band wants to do whatever
I know. But typically you can't get that
but
access.
you know, anytime you ask the band, 9 out of 10 times, they just want more photos and more pictures. They love and video. They love it. One of the guys yesterday that came here to the hotel to hang out and talk asked that question. He goes, "What's with the 3-song rule? And what's with that? Is that the band?" I said, "The band doesn't care. Most of the time, the band doesn't
the
care."
industry these days.
Yeah.
What am I doing? Oh, okay. So these are the
Top, 5 questions.
5 questions.
Rapid fire.
Okay.
Which, guys, I like these rapid fire questions.
They're great.
They're the good ones, obviously. So we like to see those, put them up when I ask for them, and follow some of the examples of these.
This is a tough one. Would you rather be Doogie Howser or William Miller from Almost Famous? I think I would know what you're going to say.
I'm going to go with William Miller.
I agree.
I have no desire to be the Doogie Howser doctor, but
Rather have an f.01 lens or a f100 lens, if they're
God.
possible.
I'd have to go with the F100 because I don't think you could actually get anything with the other side.
Your depth of field would be like a millimeter if you were at f.01.
It would be almost nothing, but it would be a challenge.
They would be very much a challenge. Okay, so be fantastic at playing ukulele or be a fantastic DJ.
I'm going to take ukulele
Totally.
because I got to learn how to play an actual instrument. Nothing against those DJs that push buttons and turn knobs.
You're getting there though with the piano.
Yeah, I'm getting there.
You're
I'm like eight training, 8 teaching instruction sessions in. And my Billy Joel playing is getting there.
You do the intro well, and I think that's about it.
No, I don't even do that well.
So falling completely out of shape or losing the fro.
Losing the fro. I don't want to lose shape.
Yeah.
I'll shave my head to get fat. I don't
You
want
do
to get
love
fat.
your arms.
I love my arms.
Bread or peanut butter? Speaking of
I don't
working out.
understand that question. but
I guess if you had to
I
choose
love
between
peanut
the
butter
two.
crackers and I love bread. But one has more protein than the other, and the other's more gluten. I'm going to go with peanut butter.
I would choose bread because there's only so much peanut butter I can eat.
There is, and I love bread.
Yeah.
Like
okay.
the baguette I had today.
Oh,
with
yeah,
lunch.
you said that was really good, right?
The baguette was really good.
So I hope everything's running good. This is a total mobile
How much time is
makeshift
there?
setup. We're 10 minutes in on this setup.
All right. Hunter Evan White. In your opinion, is Nikon killing its own semi-pro and pro market by making cameras like the D3300 so good spec-wise? Or is Nikon just not focusing on the more professional camera line, such as the new, I don't even know why he's saying D400 or D7200, speaking DX strictly for this? First off, I don't think you're ever going to see a D400. Not at this point. Is Nikon making a mistake by making the specs of the D3300 so good? No. You got to remember, though, how many people are pros and how many people are amateurs in photography. It's over 95% of the world, they're amateur photographers, right? People that are buying. So the D3300 specs are fantastic, but there's a reason that you get a D7100. There's a reason you get a 6D, a D60, sorry, D6, sorry.
610.
D610, you're right. Over one of these, but he's saying DX speaking. Well, Nikon needs to stop focusing on you don't need a D50-300 and a D30-300. The major difference is one has an articulating screen and you let it do some other things that the D30-300 can't. A D30-300, a D70-100, a D610, a D800, and a D4 or S is a great lineup.
Yeah.
These tweener models is just a waste of space.
Because you need some contrast between the cameras. There can't be those little tiny, like the articulating screen being really the only difference.
So just put an articulating screen in the base model camera.
Yep.
So that's what I think is wrong with Nikon. So no, I don't think they're doing that and doing a bad job.
By the way, when's the last time they upgraded when the D300 come out? 2008?
The D300's so beyond gone, it's not even fun.
I know. I guess
I
they're
don't
not
even know
going to do
the
a D400 because it's been how many years?
Well, it's been how many years, but I look at it as if you're a pro, like that was a very pro camera.
Yeah.
That was a
Well, that was
wedding
still
photographer
DX though,
camera.
right?
It was still DX.
Yeah.
When you have the ability to go and for the it's not the same price. What was like $2,200 for that camera that when it came out?
Probably like 7D equivalent
Yeah, but when you could buy a full frame
at a little more for the price, yeah. So we have some more questions. I travel. Okay. He says, I travel a lot, so here are my 5 rapid-fired questions related to travel. Number 1, if number 2 is brewing, airplane toilet, or prairie dog it till you land.
So I have this problem on planes, and it has nothing to do with that. It's usually peeing. Like I drink a lot of water.
I can usually hold it in.
Yeah, but what happens is if you hold it, then it gets to that 40 minutes before landing where they turn on the light.
And you have to
sit in your seat, and then I'm like this, and then I got to get off the plane. I have a problem peeing on the plane sometimes where I really, really have to go, and if I wait too long, I can't go when I'm standing there in the toilet, and then I feel like people are standing outside the door. They're like, why is this guy taking so long? Is he playing with himself? No, go ahead, next question.
Window, aisle, or meet in the middle?
Never the meat in the middle.
By the way, he said meet in the middle, M-E-A-T, meet.
Yeah, I'm never the meat in the middle.
Yeah. I didn't know if he actually meant meat in the middle, like,
No,
whatever.
generally speaking, I like to sit on the window because I can lay my head against the side to sleep.
That's what I do.
Or, you know what, the aisle's not that bad, so I can get out and go pee if I want. If you don't, you've got a girl laying on your lap with her head in it, which she did, and it was on my shoulder, and you have to get out.
Yeah, that's my issue with if I love to do aisle just so I can go up and pee or whenever. But the only thing is, if the people 2 seats in have to go to the bathroom, you're getting up every 5 minutes.
Exactly, so that's why I try to hide inside.
Me too. Airport sushi or spicy jalapeno burger before next flight?
Sushi. I won't eat burgers mostly anywhere.
Yeah, I actually had a burger before my flight to
You
Vegas.
did?
Yeah. Chat the whole flight or put the headphones on even if they're not on?
Well, I put them on even if they're not on just to cut out some of the noise.
Yeah, see, I don't like it being... I'd rather have background noise.
And I put on the phone, but I also like chatting if there's good conversation to be had.
With a 22-year-old.
With anybody. This one time...
At band camp?
No, I'm not going to even say this.
See a great shot in air or terminal. Do you use iPhone or whip out the D4?
You're probably just going to use the iPhone because
I
it's
did.
going to take time to get that out.
I actually had my 5D underneath the seat in front of me, and I saw we were going over Vegas right when we were about to land, and I had my phone in my lap, and I was like, you know what? I'll just use the phone. I mean, yeah, it was a little lazy, but at the same time, the lights inside the plane were on, so there's a huge reflection. I wasn't going to get much. What are we in time-wise?
I can't see that far.
Oh, yeah, you're next.
Why don't you want me to reset the cameras?
We still got a couple minutes, but if you want.
All right, the question, this one from Michael Carey, D3X or D610? Isn't that an interesting question in this day and age?
That is an interesting question.
Because the D3X is, oops, I bumped that, but I didn't bump it far. The D3X is a very interesting camera.
Still going, right?
Yep, the Atomos is going. Steven.
Cool. Just checking.
Yep, and so's the GoPro. I know this is a pain in the butt that we have to do this, but we don't have any lackeys here.
We definitely lost a lot of light, though.
We did, but this still looks pretty good.
All right, cool.
It looks pretty good.
It's going to be a little more...
I know, you're so worried about it, you keep saying it.
I know.
I usually don't, justifying it.
Yeah.
Well, see, the plan for the future is to be able to pack some lights with us.
Well, yeah, have some LED lights or something.
LED panel lights, 3 of them with 3 easily stands, batteries for the LED lights that are chargeable. We can use those. So I'm looking into that. We've got some companies that may have it. I'd love the Kino flows.
Way too big to bring.
Yeah, but there's different Kino flows. Yeah, they are pretty big. But the Diva lights have their own cases. They're probably big. So light panels from Limelight, we need to still check. They've been telling me they're going to send them, so I need to check that out. D3X or D610, I'm going with the D610 for the video and that option this time.
Agreed.
See, I don't get texts. Car Wash USA. Get your car washed. Here's a discount.
Nice.
Tony Davis. Steven.
Yes.
Have you quit the radio station yet?
No. I have not.
You need to go full time on here.
I've been thinking.
Also, where is the Squarespace site?
I actually did it, but I still have to send you over the information.
So is it
it's
live?
Not complete. It's I think technically live, even though there's literally nothing on there. Like I think it's still like the base template.
Which
template
did you use?
I switched around the settings and stuff. I forget the template. What did you use?
I used Wells.
It wasn't Wells. It wasn't Five. Five was my second choice, but God, I forget the name of it. It's a weird name.
Well, we'll check it out. We'll do a review.
Yeah.
When we get your site up.
I really like the way it's set up, though, the way that this particular template I chose. But I still have to put pictures up. But yeah, I think it's technically live. It might be like StevenEckert.squarespace or something weird.
Something like
URL
that.
wise, yeah. But it'll be up very, very soon, even if it's like has no pictures.
Yeah. Well,
eventually in like 2 years I'll put some
You'll
up.
get it up soon. J.B. Fletcher, what do you like best, day or night photos shoots? So I don't care. I just like shooting. Obviously, it's much easier during the day if you've got the light that you're looking for. So I'll go with day photo shoots.
I think I like night photo shoots quality, or not quality wise, but just I like the bokeh in the background from like street lights or something like that. But day's definitely much easier. Mortal Kombat or Street Fighter?
Mortal Kombat. I like. I'm going to go back with Street Fighter. Hadouken! Hadouken!
I told you my roommate has an arcade center, right, with Street Fighter and every ROM you can think of.
Street Fighter for Super Nintendo was the shit.
Oh, it was great.
I like that more than Mortal Kombat. Mortal Kombat's great. Finish them!
Well, and they also had the video. But no, Street Fighter had a video too, right? Movie, I mean.
They may have had Street Fighter the movie, which was pretty darn terrible.
Yeah, but didn't it have Jean-Claude Van Damme?
Jean-Claude Van Damme?
Jean-Claude Van Damme?
I don't know.
Action movies or funny movies? I don't know what.
I prefer the funny movies over the action, but I like romantic comedies. I'm a hopeless romantic.
I do
You've
like
Got
them
Mail.
too. I'm not gonna lie.
I like
the
You've
dramas.
Got Mail. I've liked Sleepless in Seattle. I like Love Actually.
Serendipity.
I like anything with what's his name? Love Actually guy. He slept with a transvestite hooker.
Did he? Oh, I didn't know that. I don't know his name.
He did.
You know how I am with
9
actors.
weeks.
9 weeks?
Whatever his name is.
Well, that guy.
Everybody, that guy.
Last one from J.B. Fletcher. Sports.
He's also in 4 Weddings and a Funeral.
I never heard of that.
Fantastic movie.
Is it?
The first 4 words of that movie, are fuck.
By the way, speaking of that word, I heard that Wolves of Wall Street say it like 1 billion times in that movie.
I haven't seen it.
There's a YouTube compilation where they just take out every scene. It's like 4 minutes long.
That's crazy.
Of them just cursing away. Sports photography or music photography?
Music.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I knew you would say
Well,
that.
I think music is something I would rather do.
I think it's personally more entertaining, but I
Todd
know you sports
Allen.
fanatics love it.
Regarding strobes, do you prefer studio over speed lights, and why? Did you reset the clock?
Yeah, we're 4 minutes in.
All right, I know that part. I like strobes.
I do too.
I like using strobes in the studio environment. If you're out of the studio environment and you don't have vagabonds, which are portable battery powers, and you're just quickly moving and traveling, like Joe McNally travels with how many speed lights with him, right? He uses the Nikon Speedlights and does a great job with it because you can make it work. I like strobes for the power and the cleanliness of the light in the studio environment.
Yeah, check out Strobist. I mean, he's great with that kind of stuff.
What is your
flash
favorite
photography guys?
Sorry. What is your favorite studio light and your favorite third-party speed light and why? Studio light-wise, I like the White Lightnings. Paul C. Bluff White Lightnings. I like those.
And what do you say, favorite speed light?
Third-party speed light and why? I don't have a third-party speed light. I don't do a lot of flash stuff.
I used to have Sigma as a third party, which was pretty good compared to the Canon 580 EX2s that I have.
Right. And then he goes, imagine your favorite. He imagines my favorite would be an SB 900. They now have a 910. Hunch the third-party qualifier. Hence the third party. I don't actually have an SB 900. I still have an SB 800. I don't even pack it with me when I travel.
Well, that's like me. I only have the 580 EX2s. I don't have the 600s yet, but I always bring one with me just in case for some fill or whatever.
Yeah, because it does come in handy.
Yeah.
Mr. Space Chapman. Would a D800 be the best upgrade to full frame from a D7000? Obviously, it all depends on what you're shooting. If you don't have the glass, no. If you have the ability to go, I'd go with the D610 and buy some glass.
I agree.
So that's a simple gear question. I asked that for him. Lester Kamstra. If you are stuck with one lens for 1 year, a 24mm autofocus lens or an 85 manual focus lens, which one would you prefer being stuck with?
What are we doing? Just as if you're stuck in a year for a year.
What can you accomplish more with? Being at video,
24
photos,
for sure.
I like the 24 because the 85 is narrowing what you can do.
That's what I mean.
You can get
Depends on your
closer with the
space.
24. It may not be as good as a portrait lens as the 85 would be,
You'll catch action because it's autofocus.
but it would be very tough for concerts. All you'd be shooting is basically wide-angle verticals.
Yeah, but I mean, most
Sports,
of the,
you're going to be out of luck.
yeah.
A lot of things
totally
at a
out of
distance,
luck.
you're going to be out of luck.
Even with 85, though, you're going to be out of luck at sports.
That is true. That is true, Stephen.
But if you do portraiture on the reg, that's going to be definitely 85.
So I've got a rant
Oh yeah.
to pretty much wrap it up.
Well, we still got to do gear of the week,
Gear of the week, Stephen. Before I get to the rant, thank you. I have a jam box.
which is awesome.
It's pretty darn good. I don't know how good the quality is when I pumped up the volume slightly. Pump up the volume.
I was
Pump
waiting for it.
pump up the volume. When I pumped up the volume slightly, you had some overmodularization.
Yeah.
It really started to peak out.
But it was loud.
It
got
was
really
pretty loud. This was one of the things that ClickBank gave me for speaking, which is awesome. Thank you, guys. Battery powered. Basically, what this is a Bluetooth powered. You could play Spotify through here. I could use it for my phone because I sent my phone call to this through the Bluetooth just to hear somebody. So that would be great if you need to do a conference call. You could sit the phone down so the microphone picks you up talking, and this so that both people can hear it.
It's way better quality than your phone's speaker, you know?
Right. So much better. This has like subwoofers in it. It vibrates pretty well if you want to sit on it. It's $130, I believe, which
Yeah.
is a little expensive for something, but I really think that I'll take this on the road with me from here on out. To have this in a hotel room and just wirelessly connect to it through Bluetooth, it's battery powered. You can plug in the USB charger to it. You can also plug directly in through the phone headphone jack. So it's pretty darn small. It's this small for anybody watching at home.
I'm pretty sure that's the one my roommate has, and he basically plays it every time he's cooking dinner or something. He just pops it up in the kitchen, or if he's cleaning his car or something. It's great. What is that? What are you doing? Turn it on?
I'm trying to get it to tell me stuff.
It's like Siri, but in that
Voice
form.
dialing.
No, I don't want a voice dial. How are you going to voice dial?
Is it using your phone? Is it calling someone?
I don't know what it was doing.
No, I don't think it did.
Battery is about full.
I wanted to hear that the battery is about full.
Oh, that's cool.
I love the goodbye sound. That's gear of the week. I will be traveling with this because if you're in a studio situation, that is going to fill the studio with music.
Yep.
It's better than your phone filling it with music. That is awesome to have, whether it's the Jawbone by Jawbone, or the Beats pill, which I probably think sucks.
But
I
it's
haven't
way
used
more
it.
expensive and overpriced.
Probably. I haven't tried any of them. This sounded good enough for my liking. $99 would be better. $130 to have this with a battery, everything. I could probably
And
go
seems
for it.
durable. What's it, like rubber-y?
Yeah, it's got a nice
substance?
rubbery feel to
You
it.
can probably drop it and won't do much.
It smells like vodka. Smells like vodka. So that's Gear of the Week, everybody. Normally we would do some what?
No, I just got a text or something.
How far in do you think we are?
Probably about an hour. Do you know?
I've got a rant, Steven.
All right. Is this going to be another half an hour rant?
No.
You say that now.
So I'll start this off. Joe McNally put up a photo, a blog that he was at the top of the Burj Khalifa, right? And he took that iPhone picture of his feet at the very top of the spire.
He did a behind-the-scenes video, too,
He did a
didn't
behind-the-scenes
I saw
video.
that.
This is all getting to something. Customer service related.
Okay.
And he took a picture of his shoes, and he was like, this is the photo that's been shared more than any other photo he took, and it so happened to be with the iPhone. It's pretty amazing how quick it's gone around the world, and it continues to go today. And then the company Echo saw the shoes that he was wearing, and sent him a new pair because his were all raggedy. But he linked to their site. So I was like, well, if he uses those to shoot, they must be comfortable to travel in. They're made of Gore-Tex. And I've been looking for a pair because I travel around with these sneakers that are mesh, and they don't look that good. They can't pass for dress shoes or something. And if they get wet, then your foot's gonna get wet. So I don't like that. So it's like, oh snap, I may buy this. So I went to Zappos. I've never used Zappos, but I followed what Tony Heisch does. The guy's a freaking genius. They have full autonomy with the customer service people to do whatever they want. I heard of a story where they sent somebody flowers because they either just had a baby or somebody died.
Oh, wow.
Two extremes. Somebody died, somebody had a baby.
Yeah.
Whatever. They sent flowers because they have the ability to do that. It's all about customer service. So I talked to customer service through the live chat, and they were like, and I asked about being a VIP because Adam told me that if you're a VIP, they'll give you free next day shipping.
Nice.
So I ordered 4 pairs of shoes, boots, 2 of the same thing in different sizes so I could try them on and then send them back, which they said is perfectly fine to do because I asked. I'm like, is this normal? Is this okay to do? And they said all you have to do to stay VIP is make 2 purchases throughout a year, which I'm gonna buy.
Simple.
I'm gonna buy 2 of these shoes. I'm at least gonna buy the Echo ones that he did because I'm looking to. But this goes into the customer service and leads into the rant now here in Vegas. I'm checking in. It's 9:20, 9:30. It's about 10 o'clock. It's early. So that would technically be considered early check-in. And the lady, she asked for my credit card. I'm like, this is for incidentals, correct? And she's like, well, it's also for the convenience fee. Nothing pisses me off more than bullshit extra fees for shit. It's like traveling on an airplane and they charge you for your bags. Build it into the freaking price, all right? Make me feel like I'm getting added value. Give me something to be happy about and talk about. So,
build it in. Includes this.
right,
Make
includes it. So it's like, oh my God, you're including the internet. It's not $15 a day.
Exactly.
$15 a day for internet. Why I need to travel with my own 4G hotspot. Verizon, are you listening? I would like one of your Verizon 4G hotspot LTEs. For a plug.
And on top of that, the Wi-Fi is pretty terrible here, too.
It's pretty darn terrible. And I don't feel like complaining, because if I did, they would get rid of the convenience fee if I complained hard enough. But I'm not going to, probably, unless I get upset. So that was part of it. The convenience fee is, it's $20, and it has your it includes internet, 2 passes a day for the gym. Good for you. No, good for you. La-di freaking da. So, and some of it's like, it includes towels and this. Just include it in the price of the damn room. And then it gets even worse. She's like, normally there's a $29 fee for early check-in. And I'm like, and I said to her, I'm like, none of this is, I was just saying, this is bullshit. All this, and I'm like, I'm not talking, this is not your fault. You're just doing your job. She's like, thank you for understanding. I'm just doing my job. I'm like, absolutely. This isn't you. It's not your fault. So I just was like, a $28 bullshit fee for checking in early. If the room is available, put somebody in it. Stop nickel and diming people for shit.
$28
it's like
just to check in early?
$28 to check in early.
Wow.
So this all relates to photography. One, customer service of Zappos is so amazing that I'm sitting here and telling people about it, because when you love something or you like something or you have a great results with it, people are going to go and talk about it. And that's how things spread. That's how quality work spreads. So sometimes their shoes are more expensive, but the fact that it's free shipping to you and free shipping back if you don't like it, because I can't get all that stuff at Dick's.
Do they offer like any brand or just certain?
They have everything.
Really?
They have everything.
What about Chuck's, Converse?
I have no idea. We'll look it up on the phone after.
Yeah, we got to check it out.
But they have and we could order them through me and you could pay me.
True shade.
It's next day.
Free shipping.
By the way, those pairs that I ordered them the day before I left for Vegas, so they actually are waiting for me. I'll
At
go have
home.
my neighbor who just got back from Australia. I'll go grab them to put them up in my portico. But on the other thing is, in business, try to give added value instead of saying that everything's a la carte and I have to charge you more for X, Y, and Z. I learned this with weddings. If you start going a la carte and saying proofs are this much, the DVD extra is this much, the 8 hours, 6 hours, but every hour over is an extra $180. Look, if you're going to work a wedding and it's 8 hours, does it matter if somebody goes 8 or 9 hours, if it's 10 hours longer? Or sorry, a couple of extra hours? Just say, you know what, there's no charge for that. I'm there all day anyway. Generally, you're going to leave early because they don't need you there the whole time. So that's that. But what happens when you do the a la carte thing is people start going, well, I don't need that. I don't need that. I just need the photos. So now they start nitpicking. Now you're making less money. But if I go and I say the wedding is $3,500, is $4,000. That includes X, all of this stuff. And they go, well, I don't need proofs. I'm like, the proofs are included at no extra charge. That's included in the price. So I'm not taking, what are you looking at?
Just checking levels.
Well, okay. I can't yell at you.
You might want to switch that camera soon, too.
How long is it?
We're 15 in, but you got
Do you
want
to do it? I'm almost done.
I'm connected.
All right. So anyway, the added value of saying it's $4,000, it's all inclusive. It holds all of the time in the world. So it's going to be 10 to 12 hours. And I go, it's your wedding day. Why would I charge you more for your wedding day, extra time, when I should be there to capture the whole thing within reason? Within reason. Wow, you're Mr. Dark over here.
Am I?
You're pretty dark. Not terribly dark.
That's great.
But no, it's not bad. It's not bad.
Oh, it's definitely pretty much almost dark out
But
now.
it's still good. It's good that we put that light on you, because if we didn't, you would be in total darkness.
Oh, yeah, it's true.
But we're almost done here, Steven. So that's really it. It's about added value. These convenience things need to go.
Convenient
Because
fees,
you
get rid
can't
of them.
not pay it. You have to pay it. We charge you automatically. We're charging you $20 a day for the convenience fee. You know what I say to that?
Automatically.
Earmuffs.
Earmuffs.
Go fuck yourself. The rant is the only time I'm saying that stuff. But it's the truth. Yes, automatically. Yes, you're going to be charged $20 a day. So we're here 2 days, 2 nights. It's $40 for nothing.
Wow.
For nothing. You know, build it. It's already expensive. Just be the people. Why do the low end places do it right?
Yeah.
And I'll say low end, like Motel 6, not Motel 6, Best Western. They give you continental breakfast. They've got a pancake machine or a waffle machine. They give you the orange juice that's watered down. They have the continental stuff there for you to eat. That's generally okay to eat in the morning.
Not bad at all.
And they have free internet. Free internet, Steven. That's kind of all I have to say about that.
And that's about that.
That's also going to be about it. I hope this went well. I hope you guys enjoy the mobile type of RAWtalk.
Yeah.
I plan, I'd like to travel more if we can do that. If Steven comes full time, we can just travel, right? Can we?
Yeah.
Are you okay with traveling?
I'm fine with that.
I have a companion pass. All we need to do is pick a place in the country, throw it at the board, and go, we're going to go here. And then we get to meet up with you guys in person if you live there. And we get to make a RAWtalk in. And the reason I want to travel more, you get people that yell at you and say, you don't make those videos like you used to. I still make those videos like I used to. I just put out more videos about more different things. They make it seem like I may not do as much of the 5-minute portraits, which are the harder videos to do, which I enjoy doing.
Because you need a model or somebody.
You do, and I want to do more of those. So Steven coming on full-time one day, hopefully, coming on full-time, getting full-time with Frono's Photo, comes with medical benefits.
Ooh.
Obamacare. No, we have coverage. An extra. There's perks to the job all the time. There's perks to being a wallflower. Did you see that movie?
I haven't, but I heard good things.
She's so hot.
Oh, yeah?
Emma Watson. Ooh, Emma Watson or Zooey Deschanel or the other girl, Emma Watson. Hermione.
Every time.
Love her. I want to travel more because then we can go create content. We're going to go out on the Strip tomorrow morning to make photo news. I'm doing photo news from the Strip because I wanted to do it from there.
Special
We're going to go
edition.
outside. We could do a 5-minute thing at night at 1 in the morning. We can go out to the Bellagio for the dancing water and make a video about how to shoot this on a tripod. I probably won't because I'm lazy and I don't want to do it. But
Well, and that's a harder thing to explain and show.
speaking of
too.
harder, I may do a 5-minute portrait with a porn star. Probably not. That would be a good one to do in the bedroom. I tried to think about it. Maybe next time. Or maybe we'll meet. Well, we're going home tomorrow. We're going to the show and then flying. But that's I want to travel. I want to go places and create, because if we go and create, we can just create better content. I love making good content.
Well, we're gonna have what, 5 videos out of this 2-day trip?
Well, that was part of the thing I talked about at ClickBank today.
Yeah.
People are talking about, I don't have time to do this. I don't have time to do that.
You're here to talk, and then on top of that, we're creating all this content while we're supposed to be somewhat vacation.
I mean,
Yeah.
I look at we eat well. It's all about going to eat well.
Yeah.
I gambled a little bit. I'm up $300 at the blackjack table.
Very nice.
Which is great. Maybe I'll sit down and just play $100 of that.
Yeah.
And see how that goes. If I can turn it into more,
I'm
I'll
not
be
a gambler,
perfectly
so
happy.
I'll probably just sit back.
You may sit back and
Drink a
watch and
beer.
learn. I'm not a big gambler. I like making money, not giving it away.
Yeah.
Personally. And I don't know what I was saying.
You were just talking about just creating content as much as you can.
We're making 4 or 5 pieces of content just being here. Just being here.
Yeah,
including
we
RAWtalk.
did 2 today. We're gonna do another probably 3 tomorrow, right?
No, I don't know. I don't remember the list. I sent it to you.
Oh, you want me to tell them right now?
No.
Okay.
What is it?
It's gonna be the travel edition. What's in my bag?
Ooh, yeah.
And then we got photo news outside.
Oh, yeah.
And then we got the expo, which I don't know if we're gonna
That's
release
not
that.
being released.
Okay, so 2, I guess. So we're gonna have 4 altogether. Maybe a 5th one if we do the 5-minute portrait, which I don't think is gonna happen.
I don't think the 5-minute
'Cause I don't
portrait's
think
going to
we'll have
happen
the
now.
model.
But what was cool
Model.
with the guys yesterday that I was talking to came up with some cool ideas. They were just talking, and I was like, that's a good idea. So it's great to talk with the readers.
Yeah.
So we'll end it there. We'll be back with a dual Wheel of Fro next time. Thanks to Rode Microphones, our sponsors, and what are they called? Atomos. Thank you to Atomos.
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 With a T.
ATOMOS.
OMOS.
Yeah, big thanks to Rode. We got these.
Yep.
Those guys. Thank you to Steven for flying out here. We have the whole setup. We hope it worked well. Steven may be a little dark. Please excuse any mistakes that there may have been.
Yeah.
Give us your feedback. Let us know what you think. That is RAWtalk episode number 69 from Las Vegas. I'm Jared Polin. And Jared Polin, FroKnowsPhoto.com. See ya.